Hello everyone, welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm your host, Danielle Stimpson, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. If you are new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching this on the replay, know that you're guaranteed just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, go ahead and check out that description box below. You can see all the days and times that I'm regularly here, 5 times a week, streaming live on YouTube. If you're here live with us, go ahead and click that live chat button and feel free to make any requests for your personal healing. We're going to get things started off with a beautiful crystal grid built to the exact request of everyone here. And then we will do a brief explanation of Reiki before we slide into the healing, where I will send distance Reiki to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. For those of you who are new here or haven't been here in a little bit, I am currently fostering some kittens, and they are extra excited today because they got their cones off after their big surgery. So they will be definitely making some appearances. Yes, we're purring, babes. I know. So it's good to see you all. I'm going to go ahead and just bring up the grid and get started already in progress. So let's see. Awesome. So let's just center this up. Oh, definitely. Oh, hi there. You're good to go. Got you. Welcome in, Swifty. Good to see you. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and read through everybody's requests. Yes, happy birthday, Susan, if you are here. Thank you, JS, for remembering. And here comes Hattie, the other foster kitten. Meowing back at you, girl. Anything to support with home, manifesting, calling in a new home and job that's right for you. Absolutely. Oh no, Grace has the flu. Feel better, hon. We'll absolutely send you some healing for that. Belinda, good to see you. I don't actually have any Tektite, but I will get some. Okay. Flower, agate, and white coral. You got it. Jennifer, good to see you. Suan, welcome back. Cora Carr, Chris, Maria, Kimberly, welcome in. Prudence Jane, good to see you. And let's see, did I miss anyone? Being strong through the holidays, absolutely. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good stuff. So let's dive on in and start putting that grid together. Okay, so starting off with the request for new home, job that's right, all of that kind of stuff. Tourmalinated quartz. So black tourmaline more or less like pushes away less than great energy. It sort of repels things that are not in our highest good. Streaks of black tourmaline going through clear quartz actually does an awful lot. This is an excellent stone when we're looking to connect with a new job, a new gig, a new way of earning income. And it's also fantastic for travel, for anything having to do with cardiac and heart, and anything having to do with scar tissue, internally or externally. It really breaks that kind of stuff up. Very protective and also helps to break up energy blockages. So we'll bring that in with the intention that it help manifest and calling in. And this can also help with a new home, definitely more with a job, but we can include that later there too. So let's go ahead and bring that in. We also have copper here. Copper helps to break up blockages and get the optimal flow of energy going. Let's see. Mahogany obsidian, you got it. And heart healing and flu. I'm so sorry you got the flu. I did see heart healing, and I saw one for letting go of lost love. So I have one for that, and I have some here. Okay, so let's do the heart healing first. Letting go of lost love, rhodonite as well as green onyx, which we don't use nearly enough here. Green onyx can be really helpful. Onyx of all varieties can be helpful with grief and moving through change and letting go of what's past. Green onyx in particular can really help with the emotions that go with that, especially when we get to the point with our heart where we feel almost closed off and not allowing anyone in, not just other relationships, but just anybody in. We start to keep people at arm's distance. But in general, letting go of not only lost love, but emotional connections. It could even be old friendships, things like that. But yeah, green onyx. It can also help us to stabilize emotionally in those times. And it's kind of a soothing balm for the heart chakra, I feel. Let's do that. Let's bring that in. Rhodonite is also fantastic for unrequited love, lost love, the heart healing with grief, opening up our heart to love again. All of those things that green onyx can help with too, but this also helps with the emotional insecurities that may come from that or from other things. It's also very helpful for anyone who has been belittled, especially if it was like a habit or something from childhood. People that think lowly of themselves and can internalize that and connect that with loss of relationships, loss of love. So we'll bring in rhodonite. It's a great one for healing the heart, for loss of love for sure. I'm so sorry you're going through that. We've also got for grace for getting over the flu. I have some beautiful moss agate. Moss agate is thought to be helpful for any number of infections, whether it's viral, fungal, bacterial, any of those. Anytime that we have something running amok in our body that doesn't need to be there, this helps it's thought to help boost the immune system. It's also intensely grounding. It helps us to reconnect with nature. It helps us to feel connected to the earth around us. It's excellent for folks who work with herbal medicine. It's excellent for gardening, farming, and feeling like we can connect with nature, including at times when it might be too hot or too cold to actually go outside and be in nature. So we'll bring some of that in with the intention that it help grace. I'm going to put it right here inside the copper. Feel better. And I hope that supports anyone else out there that's struggling with that. There's so many different colds, flus, everything's running around right now. So I hope that supports you, at least as far as crystals can. Yeah, so heart healing flu. Heart, welcome in. Happy belated birthday, Heart. Okay. Sharmi, welcome in. Protection energies. Gotcha. Soul's path, personal fulfillment. Also for JS, for kind of finding what's right, finding what's really in your best, highest good. I'm going to do chrysocolla again for you. So chrysocolla, for all of those, like finding the best thing for us, our spiritual path, encouraging us on the spiritual path, but also finding new ways to be creative. Chrysocolla is found very close to copper and malachite and azurite, and it really helps support us connecting with our dreams and our soul's purpose so that we can embody walking that path, especially when people are kind of saying, you sure you want to do that? And especially when it's us saying, we can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that. This allows us to kind of get out of our own way and really start to walk that path that we know we need to walk, even if it's difficult or scary, or we just feel like it's right in front of us, but we just can't see it. This can be a helpful one. So let's do, there we go, Chrysocolla. Can also help with making decisions that are in alignment with our highest good if we just kind of don't know which way to go. So yeah, I hope that helps with some of the requests I'm seeing. Focus on protection from negative energies, forgiveness, letting go of anger, absolutely. And also I'm seeing protection from lower energies, other people's energies, bullying, like intentional malfeasance kind of stuff. I'm definitely going to bring in some red tiger eye for all of those. Red tiger eye is intensely protective. Intensely protective. Whether it's bullying, which is still a big deal, or like malevolent energy work, this can be exceptionally helpful, whether you wear it, carry it around with you, or even think of it. It really almost thickens your auric field and kind of puts a shield around you. It's also great for manifesting finances and resources in a hurry. So we'll bring that in. But yeah, anytime that it's like bullies, triangulation, anybody trying to do like gaslighting, anyone trying to like play mind games, mean girl nonsense at work, any of that kind of stuff. Red tiger eye can be super protective. Yeah, and Maria, definitely clearing a path towards your soul purpose and personal fulfillment. Chrysocolla for sure. Forgiveness and letting go of anger. Howlite works for that, but also aquamarine is great for forgiveness. It's also helpful for things like teeth and gums and body fluids. It's really any kind of fluids in the body. But this also is one that, in addition to helping aid forgiveness and opening you up to forgiveness, it helps with deflecting pettiness, which can be the root of a lot of other people's negative stuff. So being that it was like bullying and things like that, this can be helpful for that as well. So we'll go ahead and bring in some aquamarine. And I'm also going to bring in dumortierite, which helps with pent up anger. It helps with frustration and impatience. It even helps with things that just seem kind of hopeless, but tidying, keeping things orderly in your universe and what's around you, this can be helpful as well. But in general, standing up for yourself, but also not giving into anger and resentment. So sometimes we're like biting our tongue, and then it all comes out. Or we're biting our tongue to kind of keep the peace, and then it's at our expense. This is one that can help us stand up for ourselves before it becomes like explosive. And definitely impatience, like as we get into the holiday season, there's even more impatience in the world than there normally is. So we'll bring in dumortierite. Actually, let's do... And mahogany obsidian is helpful for letting go of the concept of perfectionism. I'm not good enough to do this. I can't do that. It's not quite good enough yet. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. And then like years later, you're like, it's still not ready yet. Mahogany obsidian is good for that. Also for when we just don't feel like we're enough and we feel like we're forever not good enough. Absolutely mahogany obsidian. It helps us burn off those old internalized negative loops that we have for ourselves. So we'll bring that in. Thank you for requesting that. Okay. Loving all the birthday wishes for Heart. Something to help when the world feels overwhelming. Definitely. Yeah, Susan, welcome in and happy birthday. Okay. And we do have a request for Howlite, so I'll bring that in too. And like I said, this one helps for anger, resentment, all those difficult emotions. It helps us to actually process them and work with them rather than being controlled by them or just sort of bypass them and shove them down. But it also can help with teeth, bones, hair, and anything having to do with that. It's thought to help with things like osteoporosis and calcium absorption, which is something I struggle with, and also with broken bones, helping to heal those, as well as in general, like frustration, and also learning new things. It's one of those stones that, like, it does a lot of things and they don't seem interrelated, but yet somehow they are. So we'll go ahead and bring this one in too. And that's white howlite. It often gets confused with or presented as white turquoise. It's not white turquoise. They're both beautiful stones and they're both different stones. There we go. Welcome in, Lightworker. Green kyanite, absolutely. Just welcome in. Oh, your mom's trying to move back. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. I also saw the request for, fibroids and gallbladder. Actually, absolutely. Let me get that too. Okay, we've got that. Let's go ahead and, Okay, so I'm going to keep going. I've got prehnite, which can be really helpful. Yeah, definitely grab the green kyanite too. I'm going to get to everybody if I can. So let's see. For prehnite, this can help with learning spiritual lessons, especially if we're like taking a course to intentionally learn like anything spiritual, whether it's astrology or tarot or Reiki or anything. This also can be very, very helpful with refusing unreasonable demands, which can be helpful for the request I saw on behalf of Vincent, possibly for Cora Carr's mom for other reasons, and just in general, seeing what we need to do to be in alignment with our spiritual purpose and taking care of ourselves while not taking on too much that would distract us on that path. So definitely some prehnite. For fibroids and things like that, this is unikite. This is good for pretty much anything women's health related, but also fertility and metabolism, especially if metabolism is, if the metabolic issue is tied to hormones in any particular case, but any and all phases of a woman's life, and especially around like birth to postpartum and fertility, but anything with like uterine issues, like things like fibroids or like heavy menses, anything around that arena, Unakite can be really helpful. It's just a beautiful grounding stone too, balances the heart. We had a request for rhodochrosite. This is the mother-child bond, and also the physical cardiac, heart, and circulation, as well as even like telepathy and connecting with deceased loved ones, even deceased pets for some folks, often associated with the lungs, things like allergies and asthma. I work with it a lot for that, but this can have a lot to do with any kind of familial issues. So I know the holidays are coming up and I saw a few requests for like family issues. Like this can be helpful with that too. So we'll bring in, this is rhodochrosite. There we go. And we've got Kundalini Awakening. We've got Aragonite with Blue Caribbean Calcite. Aragonite helps us with grounding and connecting with our Earth Star chakra, which is everything about our future moving forward. Taking our soul's purpose and actually acting on it. Anytime that you know what you need to do, but you just can't get yourself to do it, that's the brown in here is the Aragonite. The blue is Blue Caribbean Calcite, and that's very much related to the upper chakras, the third eye and the crown, connection to divinity, collective consciousness, and intuition. And because they work with both ends of the chakra system, of the 7 main chakras, because it works with those, it's thought to help really balance the flow of Kundalini energy. That's the energy that lays dormant at the base of our spine, that when our energy is properly aligned, we can have sort of epiphanies and connections to the collective consciousness, that it can elicit things like movements of the body and making noises like unprompted and things like that. It can be really intense, but it is really beautiful. So this will help you to balance that energy flow and still embrace it while not being quite so scared or off-put by it. So this really helps powerfully balance the energy within the body so that you can work with it to achieve that enlightenment while still remaining grounded. Absolutely love it. We also have gallbladder stones. Gallbladder stones, I actually would suggest the tourmalinated quartz because it helps to, it's thought to help break up things in the body that don't need to be there. So especially scar tissue, but including like stones, like gallbladder stones, kidney stones, things like that. So definitely tourmalinated quartz. So I hope that that helps in addition to the Unakite. And let's see. Iolite. Yep, I've got iolite. Iolite also helps with metabolism and weight loss if that's your intention and your goal. This is also a great stone of intuition, connecting with your spirit guides, understanding those messages, like being very grounded and being able to receive those messages. And if you have any difficulty with sleeping, especially if that difficulty in sleep is around intuition, like your intuitive mind is so active that it's hard to do the earthly thing like sleeping, iolite can be very helpful for that. I think that helps a few of us. You all might hear the cats chatting to each other in the background. Ah, cinnabar for sales, absolutely. So this is cinnabar. Cinnabar is mercury. Now the cinnabar that's in this specimen are just the red dots. This mercury ore is thought to be exceptionally helpful for attracting customers. Now, it's been used for hundreds of years, probably thousands of years, to attract customers' financial wealth and abundance. And of course, well, even thousands of years, definitely it was used older than that for sure in China. Before we really knew how bad mercury was for us in the very terrestrial ways. Do not make direct water infusions with this stone, but it does help to attract financial abundance, especially customers for shopkeepers. It was a traditional gift for shopkeepers. This is a better example of what cinnabar actually looks like, the red of it. The specimen here, I'm going to put it on the outside of the grid, here and here. All the best to you, Jennifer. Definitely. I think I'm getting mostly caught up here. Flower agate and white coral. Flower agate helps us bloom and blossom into the person we are next to be. Basically, as we mature and grow and expand as a person, this will help encourage that and sort of mirror that back to us so we can enjoy a little bit of the fruits of our labor. This particular specimen has a VUG, V-U-G. As this stone was forming, there was something else in its way, so it formed around it. And whatever that something else was has broken down over time. And there's a void left in this specimen. And in that void, new crystals have started to form, which I think actually is spot on with the meaning of flower agate as it is. So we'll go ahead and bring this in. White coral helps us to follow our soul's purpose in a big, bold way. It helps us to really say, okay, I know what I need to do. I know what I want to do. I'm really proud of this path and I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick to it and I'm not going to feel ashamed. I'm not going to feel belittled. I'm going to be proud of my path. So this really can help us on that way. So let's go ahead and for now we'll put it here. We'll see where it ends up. You need to attract clients joyful? Yeah, definitely. Cinnabar. You can also do some other ones too. Green kyanite. So let's bring that in. I usually use this for lung health and things. It can be really great for, we were using this a lot during Omicron when people were really struggling with that. But I'm actually going to look up what some other people use it for because there's probably something else. So let me bring in some green kyanite. Yeah, let's put that here. Here. And let's see. Let's take a peek at what another healer would use it for. Let's see if Philip Permut has it in either of his books. I believe he does. Yep, 65. What does I love Philip Permut, by the way. It's a totally new take on a lot of crystals than I'm used to. He's from the UK, so I really love his perspective. He uses green kyanite for, yeah, same chest, heart, lungs, connective tissue, asthma. Brings calm and helps balance all the chakras, promotes psychic development and protection. Bringing your spiritual knowledge and wisdom into your everyday life, and helps connect with plants and with nature. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, it looks like I would put this a lot, like I feel like it has a lot to do with pre-night. So thank you for requesting that. And definitely. This is volume 2, which this is a lot of the sort of non-traditional stones that you don't see too much of. The volume 1 has a lot of stones in it as well. Love both of those books, but thank you for being here and requesting that. And what is Vogel quartz? Vogel is the way that the quartz is cut. It's a very, it's clear quartz usually, but not always. Like you can see a Vogel cut in other types of quartz, but it's a very precise way of cutting it with a lot of different facets and points. It comes all to one point, but like very precisely faceted. And it's thought to move energy in a very precise way. A lot of folks, like I feel like a lot of folks that do sound healing would really like it, but it's thought to move the energy in a very precise way, much like sound waves would move. So it basically, it directs intention really strong. Yes, he does have a good book on crystal grids, which I happen to have. It's an awesome book on crystal grids. Yeah, Philip Permut is great. Awesome. And let's see. Preemptive both. Yeah, we haven't even gotten there yet. Okay. Let's see. What did I miss or forget? Ah, here we go. Releasing the energy of others, accepting things as they are. I like that. That's very much an amethyst thing. And I am going to go ahead and bring in specifically chevron amethyst. This can help with, also, this can be helpful for Susan as well, with asking the universe for support, like, hey universe, I need these people, these things, these opportunities, and also helping not only the universe to hear that, but helping us to hear the universe's response, like adjust that a little bit, or that person standing right next to you, or whatever that might be. It helps us to have that dialogue around what we're requesting of the universe, and also just any kind of connection to the universe. It's also great for people who do channeling, visionary work, shamanic journeying, meditation, things like that. It also helps with tolerance of others, especially like if you struggle with impatience and any kind of degenerative disease. It's often linked with that. But yeah, because it's amethyst in general, it's also helpful for accepting things as they are, and only work, like definitely taking on the spiritual assignment of making change where change is needed, but also letting go where change is not meant to be made and it's just what it is, which is a big part of why it's linked with 12 steps oftentimes. So we'll bring this in. And all the best to you. And as far as releasing energy of others too, let's bring in some shungite. This helps to deep clean our spiritual, the spiritual surround of us, our auric field. And this is shungite. This can also be helpful for any kind of physical recovery, any kind of tissue repair. If you've been injured or even had a recent surgery, it can be really helpful, but also helps with energy blocks, stress management, a lot of like emotional pain or taking on other people's emotional stress. This can be really helpful. And even for folks that are sensitive to electromagnetic fields, this can be really helpful. So that's shungite. So I'm going to put that around here. I'm also going to bring out some Dalmatian jasper because we're in the holidays. We're going to be just bumping up to even more energy fields. That can be a little difficult. Let's say difficult. Now, much as black tourmaline is running through this crystal, this clear quartz, it is running through this white jasper. So Dalmatian jasper is streaks of black tourmaline, which again repels negative energy, running through this white jasper, which is, it's thought to be emblematic of bringing that energy of letting go of things that aren't ours through the energy field. So it sort of deep cleans our energy field, and it leaves its resonance there to keep us from getting more of it stuck to our energy field. So this is good for keeping our energy field clear, keeping us from absorbing energy that's not meant to be for us. And when we're going to be around a lot of people that are already stressed out around the holidays and things like seasonal depression and things like that, yeah, that can be very helpful. Okay. Making sure, and I know Chris had a bunch of requests. I want to make sure I get as many of those as I can. Okay, we've already got a few of them. Okay, cool. Herkimer helps us to be in the present moment. It also aids in manifesting, but especially in making what we're asking for really harmonious to all involved. It's like a more community-minded take on manifesting. It also helps to balance energies that don't quite harmonize. So another one to have for around the Thanksgiving table around your family, if that's kind of a thing. It also helps to support being open to intuition, kind of that two-way street of hearing the universe hearing you, feeling one. So we'll bring that in. This can really help us to manifest just the most spiritually aligned version of what we're looking for, that's also in alignment with everyone else that's touched by that manifestation. Pink tourmaline can be extra helpful when it comes to anything of the heart and the heart center. It helps us to open our heart to hold more love, and helps to just basically, in a very deep way, experience unconditional love as we may not have before. It also deepens the love that we have available to share to others. Okay, so that's pink tourmaline. Amazonite can be very helpful for encouraging caregivers to also accept care, which, yeah, if you know a caregiver, or if you are a caregiver, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it also helps with self-respect, which can also be a thing when we're working with boundaries and things and other people's energy. It's very calming, and it can also help by working with the spine and the spinal nerves. So if you're having any issues there, I know Chris's sister has issues with spinal stenosis. This can be really supportive there. And got time for a couple more. Celestite helps us to connect with our angel guides. It aids with discernment, especially when it involves what is intuitive guidance and what is fear. So like if it's a trepidation, like, hey, watch out, danger, or if it's our fear kind of acting up and being able to tell the difference. But very connected to the angelic realm and to our angels, getting their guidance, feeling their support around us, and anyone who wants to work with their angels. This could be very, very helpful. Yeah, and all manner of physical pain too. This is very helpful sort of pain stone. And citrine, I think we could all use a little bit of citrine. Citrine is excellent for bringing home the bacon, bringing in the money, bringing in financial abundance, resources that we need to get things done. It's also helpful for balancing logic and intuition. So it's another one that if those qualities around Celestite sounded helpful to you, this could be another one to work with. And I absolutely love putting citrine in the back left corner of a space. Back left corner with your back to the door. That's the financial abundance and resource center. So your wealth center. So putting this there can be very helpful. Aqua Aura, good request. Also, there was a request for like seasonal affective and also holiday time depression. Yeah, I struggle with depression myself, and so I'm not someone that's going to say, oh, just do crystals and don't do anything else. No, I use all the things that work. I use the meds too, and I use the crystals too, and I use the meditation too. I use all the things that'll help me. But Aqua Aura, I didn't think to try it for the longest time because it's a man-altered stone. So this is clear quartz that's been processed using titanium, which gives it this blue hue. It is really awesome for things like depression. It can really help not only boost your mood, but also just like move through some really difficult, stuck emotions as well. So whether it's depression that is just depression, or if someone is depressed because there's a large emotional load, this can be really helpful. So where shall we place you? Let's go ahead and let's put you here. And last one before I pick some. Oh, the name of the angel stone is Celestite. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Celestite. And also Celestite, when it's left in the earth longer, under more pressure and more heat, it turns into Angelite, which is a lighter blue and a little more opaque. Yeah. Yeah, Celestite definitely helps in connecting with the angels. This is a bigger piece of Celestite. It tends to be fairly fragile. It tends to fall apart fairly easily, which is why there's so many smaller pieces of it. And what the heck? Let's throw in some Angelite, since that was interesting. This is Angelite, and this is what it looks like as a raw, untumbled stone. And this is what it looks like when it's been tumbled and polished. This is, again, it's the same stone as Celestite, but it's changed over time into a slightly different version, a slightly different stone that really has its roots in the same thing. Amethyst is also what citrine used to be. So now we see a lot of folks baking amethyst to make it look like citrine, because citrine is harder to find and a lot of people want to work with it. If amethyst is in the ground and it turns into a deep orange, kind of brownish color like the specimens I had earlier, that's true citrine. This is another angel stone, helps us to work with our angels, feel their presence, and connect with them in a really meaningful way. So we're going to go ahead and bring this into, where shall I place you? For now, let's place them here and here, and we'll see if any of that changes. So Awesome. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that thing where I select a couple of stones and suggest them to all of you. And all of you are going to go ahead and vote on which one you think is the best fit for the grid. Mind you, you are not limited to just one vote. You can vote as many times as you want. And as you may have already noticed in the chat, some people have already placed their votes. Hint, hint, hint. So yeah, give me a moment. I'm just going to pick a couple of stones and let you all decide. Then we'll explain what Reiki is and we will go right into the sending of healing to all of you. So chat amongst yourselves. Okay, so here's my suggestions. The first is lepidolite. That is lithium mica. Sometimes you'll see it as a more solid specimen, almost like a solid piece of lavender. It almost looks like a lavender gummy bear. Other times we'll see it as what looks more like slices of mica, like powdery. And this is what it looks like with just smaller pieces here. Lithium is used as a mental health medication, has been since like at least the 1940s, maybe even the 1930s. And it's made from this. It is a natural occurring element in the earth. And it's used spiritually just as it is used medicinally, in that it helps to stabilize mood and it helps with depression. Definitely, this is not one to make direct water infusions with for that reason. It's got medicinal qualities and it's not harmonious with everyone. So just know that. So that can definitely help with things like depression, mood shifts, things like that. The other is Septarian. Septarian, also called dragon's egg. Septarian helps us to learn the emotional lessons as we go through something. So it kind of works with the solar plexus. It kind of softens our self-identity a little bit so that we can be a little bit more open to learning about ourselves, about others, about how we relate to others, and bring those lessons in and bring them to use. So we're not just going through difficult times with, fruitlessly. This helps us to learn what we're meant to learn as we're going through things. So Septarian or Lepidolite. Do your best on the spelling, or you can do what everybody else is doing. Yeah. Could Aqua Aura also be a lighter blue? It can be. It depends, because it's really a man-made stone. Like the clear quartz is natural. How it's processed into Aqua Aura it's a process that involves, it's similar to anodization, and it involves titanium. It can be lighter, brighter, or it can be deeper and more reflective blue. So it can range in terms of shade, but it definitely looks reflective no matter what. So go ahead, cast your vote. I'm going to quickly explain what Reiki is and a little of how it works, and then we're going to get into the healing. Oh, and if you don't mind while you're voting, if you could click the like button, I'd super appreciate it. But, it's totally up to you. So as I mentioned at the top of the hour, I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I'm so glad you're here today. I have been teaching Usui Reiki for about 14 years now. And if you want to learn more about my live online Reiki classes, sessions, my community Discord, crystal shop, or social media, all of that is in the description below. So the style of Reiki that I work with is known as Usui Reiki, and it's named after the method's founder, Mikao Usui. And this particular style was created in the early 1920s in Japan. But the roots of it are ancient and come from more than one culture. At the same time, the very concept of what energy is in this particular method are based in the indigenous spirituality of Japan known as Shintoism. In Shintoism, everything has a soul. Everything is interconnected, and there is a flow and a movement. Everything that we do impacts the greater whole. Everything that's going on around us impacts us. Because we don't really have the best vocabulary for this in the West, but for lack of a better term, the frequencies of the energies that connect all of our souls are different and varied. And specifically, Reiki, or spiritually guided soul energy or life energy, is an energy that flows through this interconnected grid. And it's an energy that's already a part of you wherever you are right now, even if you've never heard of it. It's part of how our body, mind, and spirit do what they do all day long. Just like we're mostly made of water and we generally don't think about it, but it's true, and we don't live very long without water. We are mostly made of Reiki energy, and even without thinking of it, it's already moving through us and everything else. Reiki, that spiritually guided soul energy, our body, mind, and spirit are utilizing it for our greatest good moment to moment. By intentionally connecting with this energy and directing it to all of you, essentially I'm going to be sending you more of this energy. It's not an unfamiliar energy, but feeling more of it coming to you is usually very palpable, and it can show up a number of different ways. So first of all, you don't need to do anything. I usually suggest that you just get as physically comfortable as you can. Sit up, lay down, close your eyes or not, and move around and adjust as you need to during. And what I'll essentially be doing is connecting with this energy, directing more of it to you, and you may notice it impacting your physical body. You may feel physical sensations. You may feel it in your emotional body and feel some different feelings moving through. Your mental body, you may get some subconscious thoughts or some sort of deep down wisdom. Your spiritual connection, so you might get some intuitions. Any of these can happen, all of these at the same time, little bits of here and there. Every session's a little bit unique, and setting an intention during your healing can help focus where it goes, and you can do that like we already have in the chat, or frankly, just think about whatever your intention might be at any point during the healing, and the Reiki will absolutely support it. At the end of the 25-minute Reiki session, you'll hear my voice come back in and invite you to take a deep breath, slowly come back, and at that time, I will reopen the chat and I'll encourage you to ask any questions you might have or share any experiences that you feel to share. If you're watching this in the future, you can go ahead and use the comments or reach out to me on social media or my community Discord linked in the description, and I'll do my best to help you understand. During the session, I will turn the lights down. It will gently move through several different colors. At the same time, it will not flash or strobe. And I will turn the music up. The music was made by another content creator here on YouTube, and her information is in the description below. During the session, you don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep a silent mind. If you feel like your mind might be wandering, you can let it and see where it goes, or you can simply take a deep breath in and out and just sort of reset. Because we're all interconnected, it doesn't matter where you are in relation to me, you'll still be able to receive this energy. And just the same, it doesn't matter when you are. You can always go ahead and, even if you're watching this on the replay, hello from the past, you can experience this beautiful healing energy whenever you happen to be watching this. If you ever find yourself in need of a little bit of healing, just go ahead to our past live streams playlist. You can sit through and listen to all of the crystal awesomeness, or you can skip right ahead to where the lights tend to shift and just enjoy the healing rays sent to you whenever and wherever you happen to be watching it. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure to share this healing with all of you. Like I said, all of my information, my website, learnreikiphiladelphia.com, all of that good stuff is all linked in the description below, and I'm so glad that you are here. Join me anytime, 5 days a week. There will be some extra streams added this week, at least one on Thanksgiving. So if you want to know about that, go ahead and subscribe with your notifications on so you don't miss an opportunity. So with that all out of the way, let's head back to the crystal grid so that I can send some healing to you wherever you are. Oh, thank you, Lightworker. I appreciate that. Oh, wow, I got more subscribers too. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate all the support. That's really sweet. Definitely the lithium one. Septarian, please. And then a whole lot of boths. Hey, Key, good to see you. Allison, good to see you too. Let's go ahead and use both. That's generally how we do, right? So let's go ahead and... how can we make this happen? I think I know. Let's do... Is there enough room there? We can make enough room. Yes, we can. Okay. Awesome. So one of the things that I don't always mention that I feel like I want to is that part of what's at play here is that concept of communal qi, which comes to us from China, and it basically dictates this: the more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater the energy potential is magnified for everyone. So this is us making that tangible, bringing that together into a beautiful grid, and essentially just by being here whenever you happen to be watching this, just by being here, you are helping to support the healing good of everyone here. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights down, turn the music up, and send this healing to you wherever you happen to be. And yeah, let's go ahead, dive in, and get started. I invite you to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly allow yourself to come back to your body. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, thank you. If you have any questions or anything you want to share, please go ahead and put it into the chat. I'll be more than happy to help you with it. You are so welcome, Hart and Jennifer. You're so welcome, Kimberly. So glad you could be here. Come back anytime. My next scheduled stream is Tuesday at 10 a.m. East Coast US time. And I will be doing all of my regular scheduled streams next week, even with the holiday. And I will definitely be doing a stream on Thanksgiving itself. Thank you, Maria. It's great to see you. If you are doing the whole holiday shopping thing, go ahead and either check out the description below and sign up for my e-newsletter or join my Discord. I will be putting out some special coupon codes for just you all for gift certificates as well as discounts in the crystal shop. And if you are looking for even more, go ahead and check out Jennifer Vatz's Etsy shop at Belladonna Botanicals. These awesome dumortirites are actually from her shop. Philly rep Philly for sure. And of course, just happy to have you here, whether it's a holiday or not. You're always welcome here. Charmy, you're so welcome. Chris, Key, good to see you both. Chris, you're so welcome. What a wonderful, blessed day. I got to teach some Reiki masterclass this morning. I got to lead a Reiki share for some of my former students right before this, and then I got to hang out with all of you. Thank you so much. Absolutely, Swifty. I usually write or type out all of the names of all the crystals in the description after the stream ends. Sometimes I do it right away. Sometimes it takes a couple days. Sorry. But yeah, I'll be able to do it tonight. And you can always, if you're looking for like, what was that one crystal that did that one thing? You can always watch the replay of the stream. It archives immediately. And you can kind of like skip ahead to that crystal if you want to. And thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Like I said, I have a bunch of crystals on my shop. I don't have all of them. Jennifer's shop has a lot. And I'm going to be adding some crystal grid kits, like ready-made kits this week for the holidays and stuff. So I'm so honored and blessed to have all of you here. What a beautiful grid we all made together. And it wouldn't be what it is without every single one of you that made a request. So thank you. Yeah, full confession, I usually keep the grids up until like the next stream, just so like this is on my desk. I get to look at the grid until the next time I go live, and I absolutely love it. Oh man, let's see, that we haven't used Septarian in a while. I'm really glad that got to make an appearance. or Lepidolite. We haven't worked with either of them recently. I don't have an in-person shop anymore. I did until COVID. I had a shop in the Old City part of Philadelphia. And when that all hit, like I was teaching in person and practicing in person, when that all hit, right away I'm like, this is going to be more than like a month. I'm going to just not. And I do have a space where I'm seeing clients by appointment, but not where it's like just open for people to walk in. And so I don't have any crystals there. So I'm sorry about that. There are some really awesome, if you're in the Philly area though, there are some really awesome crystal shops around. Yeah, I just have the website though. We kind of have an embarrassment of riches here in Philadelphia with like cool metaphysical shops. And like more all the time. There's a new one actually on Broad in South Philly, the 8th House. I want to say they're like closer to Morris maybe? I could be wrong. But yeah, they're not far from Passyunk. So maybe it's more like Dickinson and Broad, but she's really cool. She moved her shop over from Jersey and she's got crystals there. You're so welcome, Susan. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. So glad to have you here, and happy belated birthday, Heart. All the beautiful Scorpios here. Oh, I absolutely love it. Random user, you're so welcome. So glad you could be here. Come back anytime. And you're welcome, Sharmi. Absolutely. Yeah, the 8th house seems really cool. I've been following her for a long time. When I found out she was moving to Philly, I'm like, yes. It's so exciting. What's the name of the shop? Oh, it is Oh, Heart, you're welcome. Thank you. It's called Shop the 8th House. They're on Instagram as well. But yeah, I think it's called the 8th House, and I think their Instagram handle is Shop the 8th House. And there's Ritual in Rittenhouse. They're pretty cool. I don't know any of the newer ones in Fishtown, unfortunately. And, yeah, I don't know of any right now out here in West. Yeah, there's some really good shops. I definitely have a really good relationship with the folks who own Mineralistic on South Street. I lived above, like not directly above them, but like a couple buildings over above them for like 7 years. So I get along really great with Janice in there. So you can always just bop in and say hi. Danielle mentioned you and they'll give you lots of love. They're awesome. And then while you're on South Street, you can also check out whatchamacallit, Garland of Letters. I actually don't have any pendulums for sale at the moment. I'm sorry. Although, let's see. I may know of an Etsy shop. There's a jeweler. I used to be located on Jewelers Row in Philadelphia until they tore our building down to build a high-rise that then they never built. So it's just a pit in the dirt. Yeah, Philly. But one of the jewelers makes really cool stuff, including pendulums. And there's still a coupon code for her Etsy shop that is good for my people. And she is, if you go on Etsy, her shop is called High Art, and the coupon code is 10% off, and the coupon code is Reiki. She may have some really cool pendulums. She's who makes mine. and I'm spoiled. So check hers out. So she is a silversmith. She's a classically trained silversmith and has done jewelry repair for like 40 years. Like, she makes beautiful stuff. So I can definitely say that she's got great stuff. Also, Mineralistic had them the last time I was there, and Garland of Letters has them if you're local to Philly. But yeah, I would say, and I don't know if Jen is still here, if she has pendulums in her shop. But yeah, I'll work on getting some. Maybe I'll buy some from Janie, the owner of High Art. Philly always takes care of Philly. And thank you all so much for the support. And definitely for the growing numbers of subscribers. So we're up to 430 apparently. Once we hit 1,000, I can monetize my channel and actually like create some income from it. So exciting things. Exciting things. But it also will have more of a community tab, and we'll have more options to do more cool things. So that is exciting. But already the number is going up faster than I ever thought it would. So thank you for being here. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just give a couple more minutes if anyone has any questions. I definitely will type out the names of all of these crystals as soon as we wrap up, just so that they're in the description. And newbie question, what are pendulums for? That's a great question. Oh, I wish I had mine here so I could show you. Have a good night, Chris. Thank you for being here. Let's see if I have one with me to show you. Essentially, they're for divining and getting yes or no answers. They can also be used on a grid or a radial chart, but essentially it's for checking in and getting a yes or no answer. So let's see if I can find one of, I have so many of them. This pendulum was not made by my friend Janie, but it is cool nonetheless. So let's go ahead and turn this up. Okay, so a pendulum, and I can do a workshop on this and a video on it. In fact, I will. So a pendulum can come in any number of shapes. They've been used since Egyptian times to ask yes or no answers. And so the way that I work with it is I hold it, anything that hangs from a central line like this and balances in the middle will work. You can put a key on a string and it'll work just fine. You probably have like a pendant necklace. That'll work just fine. And what I would suggest you do is hold it up and just say, like, stop it from moving. And I'll just say, show me, here, let me stop it from moving. Show me yes. And it starts moving in, for me, clockwise for yes. And then I'll stop it again and I'll say, please show me no. Now, it's like, whoa, it moves really fast. But also, if you really looked hard, you could probably see that in some way, my body is causing it to move in whatever direction. My theory as to why pendulums work is that our inner knowingness has some control over what happens. Basically, if you looked like really close at somebody's arm or finger, you might see a movement that causes the motion of the pendulum. But I think that that's exactly it. It's our inner knowingness is kind of bypassing our conscious mind so that we can just ask our subconscious and our intuition what's going on. I'll sometimes use these for asking yes and no's when I'm reading tarot cards. Some folks use them in a Reiki session to see the status of an energy center, like a chakra. Other folks use them to see like which crystals to bring out in a session. The first time I saw one used was like when I was little at a baby shower, and people were trying to figure out if the baby was a boy or a girl, because I'm that old. I'm from before ultrasounds. so there's that. Yeah, sometimes they don't move, and that just sometimes it's like either re-ask the question a different way, or maybe it's not meant to be the question. Other times it's just not the pendulum that's meant to work with you. I would say if you're just starting to work with it, give it lots of time and look for, like for me, I've been working with pendulums for like almost 20 years. Go ahead and start small, and start asking a couple of times here and there. And you'll start to gradually see that there's smaller motions, clockwise, counterclockwise, or left to right, or up and down, back and forth. The different motions for your yes and no might be different to someone else's. You're so welcome, Swifty. Great idea, though. I'll do a workshop on that. I'll do a video on it. That seems like fun. Thank you for the suggestion, and thank you for the question. Yeah, this particular pendulum is made from, someone made it for me. It was made with a resin and bits and pieces of lapis and a gold flake. But the one I have from Janie is a piece of clear quartz that's been custom wrapped with silver. And it's definitely, it feels nice. It feels like really, really heavy and nice, but this is beautiful too. You're so welcome, Lightworker. Thank you for being here. And all of you come back anytime. But yeah, I'm going to work on that video. Cool. We could do it as like a live workshop too. Maybe I'll put it out as a poll for all of us if we want to do it as a live workshop or as a pre-recorded video. I'm happy to do it either way, or both, whatever y'all like. It really doesn't matter what you use. When I used to teach, and for everybody who needs to like go on their way, I love you and thank you for being here. It's totally okay. It doesn't matter what you use. When I've taught Reiki for a long time, and when I first started and I didn't have my own space and people still didn't really know what Reiki was, I used to rent space from different yoga studios. And there was a great Pay What You Wish yoga studio in South Philly. And what I did was he's like, I really want to do some workshops. I'm like, oh, okay. So I did a $5 workshop on working with pendulums, and they were handmade out of whatever we had. So some of them were like a key on a string. Some of them were like a nut or a bolt on the end of a string. You can use your necklace, whatever you have. And so I just made a bunch out of found objects. Like some were wine corks with like a pin in them holding a piece of string. And everyone got to like just take one home. And it really kind of drives it home that it's really your intuition that's working with it. It doesn't really matter what the tool is made of. I mean, of course it's fun if it's pretty, but it can be anything. Preemptive both. I love it. Preemptive both. You're so welcome. But yeah, use an old pendant necklace. Like this is I wouldn't necessarily use this, but you could use something like it. This necklace that I'm wearing, and here I'll zero in on it. It would work perfectly. Like this would work fine, except that I wouldn't use this one because this is actually crematory jewelry. So I wouldn't use that for a pendulum. But you can use something shaped like this, or you can just use whatever you happen to have. 17th and Tasker, the 8th house is right down the street. She bought that property and she redid it inside and out, and it looks beautiful. I had no idea she was right down the street from you though. She just opened that location. And she's got a lot of crystals. Definitely tell her Learn Reiki Philadelphia said hello. I don't know her in person, but we've connected through Instagram here and there. Both. I shouldn't offer options, just know that it's always both. Yeah, you can use whatever you find, like literally anything. And that was the fun part of that workshop that I did, is that it's not about what the tool is, it's just about your intuition. So use whatever you have. It was so much fun. And then of course some folks like went up to South Street and like purchased some cool stuff, and others just went home, and I even had people like over a year later that are like, I still use the pendulum I got at your workshop. Oh, you're going to go check her out tomorrow? Awesome. Make sure she's open on Mondays. Make sure she's open on Mondays. I don't know what her open schedule is, and I know it's like an owner-run shop, so that's so cool. Yeah, that's so cool. I have so much fun there. Awesome. Okay, so I'm really going to go ahead now. I'm going to go ahead and check in on the monsters before they realize that their bowl was a little empty earlier and that they're hungry. So I'm going to go feed them. I will be back Tuesday at 10 a.m. for some Reiki, Wednesday at 4 p.m., sometime on Thanksgiving at least once, Friday at 4 and 8 p.m., and Sunday at 8 p.m. Those are my regular times every week. So wonderful to see you all. I hope to see you again. If I don't see you before the U.S. holiday, those of you that are in the States, I hope you have a great time. Yeah, those stores usually are closed on Mondays, Chris. That's why I was like, oh, check it out. But I guess if it's that close, it's worth it to take the walk either way. But yeah, I would definitely check it out. Oh, thank you, Light Worker. Yay. Welcome to the newsletter. Y'all rock. Oh, this is I just really had the most beautiful day today. I'm so grateful for today. So grateful for everybody that was part of it. Thank you all so much. All right, I'm really going to go and check on the monsters. Because otherwise they're going to just sort of jump on me and start knocking the crystals around, which honestly would still be cute anyway. But have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you. If I do see you, I'll be happy to. And either way, I do hope to see you again soon. Remember to take care of yourselves, and bye for now.